The making of a great film is not just in its actors and the plot, but in the quality of its shots as well. To achieve a film that is pleasant and easy to watch, the 5 rules of cinematography, rule of thirds, headroom, lead room, leading lines, depth of field, and the 180 rule must be applied. The rule of thirds divides the screen into 3 sections, horizontally and vertically. The goal is to have your key subject on one of the lines, preferably where they intersect. In this example, the subject is standing in the middle of the frame. Notice how when the subject is shifted in either direction to line up with the grid lines, the shot looks more aesthetically pleasing. The rule of thirds is the essential part to a strongly framed video. Having the main character or object on the third allows for other characters or objects to be seamlessly added into the shot without throwing off the balance. If the character starts in the middle of the frame or too close to the edges, when another character is added, the balance is thrown off and the shot looks awkward. Cinematography is used to eliminate the awkward feeling that a viewer may experience if a shot is poorly executed. For example, headroom and lead room is the distance between the subject and the edge of the screen. Headroom is the visible space above the head. Don't leave too much space, and make sure you don't cut off the chin, as this is uncomfortable to look at. Lead room is the distance from the person's nose to the edge of the frame. For this rule, you want to make sure there is adequate space between them. In each shot, there should be one center of attention. Use of angles and placement should highlight the subject. Leading lines guide the audience's eye to a specific point on the screen, using naturally occurring lines in the shot. Place the subject where the lines meet or point. This is where the viewer's eye will naturally land. Many films use shots with a blurred background and the key subject in focus. The depth of field refers to how much of the shot is in focus. A deep depth means that everything in the frame is equally focused and clear, while a shallow depth means only a portion is in focus. Use depth of field to direct the viewer's attention to the point of interest. With a shallow depth of field, you can use a rack focus to change focus from one thing to another. The final rule, the 180-degree rule, is used once character placement is established. This rule helps to keep the audience from being confused as to where the characters are facing in the scene. Imagine an invisible line between the 2 characters. The camera can only stay on one side of this line. If the camera crosses over the line, the shots start to look confusing, and it can become difficult for a viewer to figure out what exactly is happening in the scene. This is because the direction of the character appears inconsistent, and this can be dizzying. When this rule is broken, the cut between shots looks sharp and sudden, and this makes the viewer feel disoriented. Notice how this dialogue scene is easier to watch than this one? That is because in this scene, the camera did not cross over the 180-degree line. In a dialogue shot, take into consideration all of the rules you've learned today. Remember to use a tripod for more clear and steady shots, as this looks more professional. Now that you know the 5 rules of cinematography, you're ready to go make your Oscar-worthy film.